He says all the right things, but have you ever wondered what his eyes are really telling you? What if the truth about his desire isn't in his words, but in the way he looks at you, moves around you, and reacts when you say nothing at all? If a man wants to sleep with you, his body will reveal it long before his mouth ever does. You just have to know what signs to look for, and once you do, you'll never see him the same way again. When a man wants to sleep with you, one of the most telling signs lies in the way he looks at you. Not just a casual glance, not just polite eye contact, but something far more loaded. His gaze lingers, and it speaks volumes. It's almost like his eyes betray his intentions before he ever says a word. You might notice that when you're talking, he isn't just looking at your eyes like someone who's interested in what you're saying. He's scanning, observing, soaking in every part of you. There's a difference between admiration and desire, and this kind of gaze comes with a weight to it. It's not always obvious right away, but if you pay close attention, you'll sense when it shifts from simply appreciating your presence to a sort of visual consumption. This kind of visual attention is subtle at times. He may try to hide it, disguise it as just being attentive or respectful, but attraction has a way of slipping past the social filters we use. You might catch him watching your lips as you talk, his eyes drifting when you move, tracing the shape of your body, almost without blinking. And it's not always during moments of flirtation. It could be in the quiet pauses, when neither of you are speaking, and he thinks you won't notice. That's when the real gaze shows up. Because when a man is driven by physical desire, the eyes become tools of fantasy. They reveal what he's picturing, what he's imagining, even if he's saying something completely innocent out loud. It's not about vulgarity, it's about instinct. A man's visual focus is one of the most ancient parts of male attraction. It's deeply wired into how he experiences chemistry. If he wants to sleep with you, he's not going to just hear you or understand you. He's going to watch you carefully, often, and sometimes even involuntarily. His pupils might dilate slightly, a biological response to arousal. His eye contact may become inconsistent, intense, then suddenly broken, like he realizes he's revealing too much and pulls back. But that flicker of hunger, even if it only lasts a second, speaks louder than any compliment ever could. And the most interesting part? He might not even be aware he's doing it. His brain is already several steps ahead, interpreting signals, anticipating outcomes, projecting fantasies. The eyes become the window to all of it. So when a man looks at you and it feels like he's undressing you in his mind, he probably is. You'll feel that gaze. You'll feel the difference between attention that wants to know you and attention that wants to have you. It's quiet, it's primal, and once you recognize it, you'll never unsee it again. When a man is sexually drawn to you, one of the clearest psychological signs is that he starts to mirror your movements without even realizing it. This isn't a learned behavior or a trick, it's an unconscious response to attraction. His body naturally begins to sync with yours, as if his mind is trying to connect with you on a deeper, more intimate level. You might cross your legs, and a few seconds later he does the same. You might tilt your head while laughing, and he mirrors that angle. These subtle repetitions aren't coincidences. They're indicators that he's fully tuned in to you. This happens because mirroring is the brain's way of building rapport and closeness. When someone desires you, they want to create harmony with you, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Mirroring becomes a silent dance between two people, where one person is trying to show, without words, that they're aligned with the other. It's not aggressive, it's soft, seamless, and often so natural that if you're not paying close attention, you'd miss it. But when you slow down and observe, you start to realize he's not just interested in you, he's connected to your energy in that moment. It might show up in the way he drinks his coffee after you sip yours, or the way he adjusts his posture to match how you're sitting. Even facial expressions fall into this category. If you smile, he smiles, almost instantly. If you raise your eyebrows in curiosity, he does too. His emotional state begins to reflect yours, not out of politeness, but because his body is trying to mirror your rhythm. This kind of behavior stems from mirror neurons in the brain, which are activated when we watch someone else do something, and when we're attracted, they become hyperactive. This mirroring isn't limited to just gestures either. It extends to tone, pace of speech, and even breathing patterns. If you're speaking softly, he might lower his voice as well. If you start talking faster, with excitement, he'll likely match your tempo. This is his subconscious attempting to blend in with your emotional state, because closeness leads to comfort, and comfort opens the door to intimacy. He's creating a safe emotional space, and his mind is already imagining being in sync with you, both in conversation and potentially in bed. Mirroring is a way for someone to silently say, "I'm with you, I'm tuned in, I'm feeling this." It's a powerful indicator because it bypasses language and jumps straight into primal connection. It shows he's not just reacting to what you say, but that he's absorbing how you say it, how you move, how you react. And by reflecting it back, he's trying to match your frequency, hoping you'll feel that alignment and be drawn into him just as he is to you. This psychological mimicry is subtle, but it's one of the clearest unspoken signs of desire. When a man is physically and emotionally attracted to you, his body gives him away long before his words ever could. One of the strongest and most consistent signs lies in his eyes, specifically in how his pupils respond to your presence. Pupil dilation is a biological reaction triggered by arousal, interest, or excitement. When a man is deeply focused on you, especially in a sexual way, his pupils can become noticeably larger. This isn't something he can control or fake. It's a raw, automatic response that reveals his inner state of desire. It's like his eyes are trying to take in more of you, to absorb every detail, to hold on to what they're seeing, because it stimulates something within him. The eyes are often described as windows to the soul, but in moments of attraction they become much more than that. They become windows into the subconscious. When his pupils dilate, it's because his nervous system is reacting to the stimulation of being near you. It's not just about beauty either, it's about chemistry. He's reading your face, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, and it excites something deeper. The dilation happens because his body is priming for connection, whether he's aware of it or not. You may also notice that he blinks less when he's looking at you. That's another biological clue. When someone is highly engaged or aroused, they tend to blink less frequently because they don't want to miss a moment of what they're seeing. It's almost like he's trying to hold the image of you in his mind for as long as possible, uninterrupted. This intense visual focus is often paired with a stillness in his expression, like his mind has entered a state of deep observation and fascination. He's caught in the moment, lost in the details of you. Even in conversation, you'll feel the shift. His gaze might linger just a little too long, not in a disrespectful way, but in a way that suggests his thoughts are wandering to places he's not saying out loud. And you'll know it not just by how he looks at you, but by how he doesn't look away. That locked-in eye contact becomes a form of silent communication. It says, "I'm into you, I want more of this." That kind of gaze can be electric, undeniable in its intensity, almost tangible in its heat. Sometimes he'll try to disguise it. He might glance away quickly, shift his focus, or act distracted. But the body rarely lies, and the eyes, especially under the pressure of desire, almost never do. So when a man's pupils widen around you, and when he seems to blink less like he's caught in a moment of awe, don't ignore that signal. It's his biology doing the talking, revealing what he's really feeling behind the surface of polite conversation. When a man is sexually attracted to you, his body language becomes louder than his words. One of the most telling signs is how he positions himself around you. He starts to lean in closer, shorten the physical distance, and find subtle ways to be within your personal space. This isn't just about wanting to hear you better or being polite. It's a magnetic pull he's following. His body instinctively wants to be nearer to yours. Even when it's not necessary, like in a quiet room or when there's plenty of space, he chooses to close that gap. It's a physical manifestation of desire that he likely isn't even aware he's doing. You might notice him moving a bit closer every time you speak. Maybe he angles his body toward you, keeps his shoulders open, his feet pointed in your direction, and leans in just a little more than what's socially typical. This kind of spatial behavior is not random. It's a subconscious effort to create intimacy without making a verbal move. He's trying to create a private bubble between the two of you, where only you and he exist, even in a crowded setting. And if you move slightly away or adjust your position, you may see him readjust just to reclaim that closeness again. This proximity often comes with a subtle yet persistent need for touch, not overt or inappropriate, just small, almost accidental touches that give him a sense of closeness. He might touch your arm when he laughs, graze your back as he walks by, or let his knee rest closer to yours than necessary. These moments feel casual, but they're calculated by his subconscious. His physical instincts are looking for opportunities to connect, to break the invisible boundary between your body and his. These gestures may seem innocent on the surface, but they're driven by a desire to initiate physical closeness in a safe and socially acceptable way. A lean-in isn't just about body placement, it's also about attention. When a man is sexually attracted to you, he becomes intensely present in your space. He's not distracted, he's not scanning the room. His attention locks onto you, and everything in his posture reflects that. He sits forward instead of leaning back, he nods more often, and he physically orients himself toward you even when others are around. It's like his entire body is having a silent conversation with you, one that says, "I'm here, I'm with you, I want to be close." This spatial behavior comes from a place of emotional urgency. He doesn't want to just be near you mentally, he wants to be near you physically. It's a form of body-led flirting that often bypasses words completely. While he may be saying something light or casual, his posture is revealing a very different story. It's one of closeness, of connection, of chemistry that's building under the surface. When a man consistently leans in and keeps shortening the distance between you, it's his desire breaking through the social filter, making itself known in the language of space and touch. When a man is sexually attracted to you, silence becomes uncomfortable for him, not because silence itself is awkward, but because in that quiet space he feels exposed. When you stop talking or go silent, even briefly, he starts over-explaining, fidgeting, or filling the gap with unnecessary words. That nervous energy isn't random. It's a psychological reaction to wanting your approval and fearing he's losing your attention. If a man is only casually interested, your silence won't impact him. But when there's real desire, especially physical desire, your silence creates tension he's eager to dissolve. He wants to stay in your good graces, to keep you engaged, because in his mind, any moment of disconnection is a missed opportunity to build the intimacy he's craving. You'll notice him suddenly trying to impress you more. He might start telling stories he wasn't planning to share, adding extra details, throwing in compliments, or asking rapid questions just to regain the emotional rhythm. That sudden spike in energy isn't confidence, it's nervousness disguised as charm. When a man wants to sleep with you, your opinion of him matters in a very specific way. It's not just about being liked, it's about being wanted back. And when you're silent, he's not sure where he stands. So he starts performing, even if subtly, to pull you back in. His need to break the silence shows that your reaction, your smile, your nod, your laugh is a reward he's chasing. This behavior often reveals itself during conversations where the stakes feel higher. If you're discussing something emotional or vulnerable and you suddenly pause or become quiet, he might become visibly uncomfortable. Not because he's disinterested, but because he's afraid he said something wrong. Or worse, that he's misread the connection. Attraction can make people hypersensitive to shifts in mood, tone, and expression. And for a man who wants you physically, every second of silence can feel like he's slipping away from the outcome he's hoping for. That inattention builds quickly, and his actions become a scramble to keep the spark alive, even when nothing's gone wrong. His nervousness also shows in how he handles his body. He might start tapping his fingers, adjusting his clothes, rubbing the back of his neck, or playing with something nearby. These micro movements are all signs of inner stimulation. His heart is racing, his thoughts are spiraling, and all of it is triggered by your silence. And the more he wants you, the more dramatic that internal reaction becomes. This isn't about insecurity in the general sense. It's about the pressure he feels to keep the moment alive. He wants to be seen as confident, desirable, engaging, and sexy. And if he senses you're pulling away, even just mentally, his instincts kick in to draw you back. You might even catch him backpedaling if he thinks he said something wrong. He'll clarify, soften his words, or laugh nervously to lighten the mood. All of it is a psychological strategy to reset the energy between you, to get you talking again, and more importantly, to get you feeling again. Because desire feeds on response, and when you go silent, that feedback loop breaks. So he does what he can to restore it, quickly, instinctively, and often without thinking. The silence becomes a spotlight, and he feels vulnerable under it because his attraction is no longer hidden in the comfort of conversation. It's exposed, raw, and unguarded. When a man wants to sleep with you, one of the clearest signs is hidden in the way he compliments you. It's not just that he gives you compliments, lots of people do that. It's how he does it, what he focuses on, and the tone underneath his words that makes all the difference. His compliments carry a certain texture, a deeper undercurrent, a sensual tone that subtly reveals what he's really thinking. He doesn't just say, "You look nice." He tells you there's something about the way you move, or the way your voice sounds when you laugh. These aren't surface level observations. They're focused on details that come from watching you more closely, noticing things that most people might miss, and being affected by those small things in a very specific way. You might notice that his compliments linger on parts of you that are connected to desire. He may talk about the way your lips move when you speak, the way your dress fits just right, or the softness in your eyes. He's not going for what's obvious. He's expressing attraction in a way that feels personal, almost intimate. And that's because his interest isn't just casual, it's deeply physical. The words he chooses have weight, and they often carry an emotional charge that goes beyond flattery. It's not about giving you a compliment, it's about sharing how you affect him. That's the difference between someone who's being nice and someone who's thinking about you in ways he may not be saying out loud. There's also a rhythm to the way he delivers these compliments. They might come when you least expect them, like in the middle of a conversation about something else entirely. He's not always waiting for a perfect moment. The attraction sneaks up on him, and he says it before he can filter it. That spontaneity is a giveaway. He didn't plan it, he just felt it. And when someone feels something strongly enough, they have a hard time holding it back. His voice might soften when he says these things, or he may look directly into your eyes with a kind of focus that feels more intense than friendly interest. That's the psychological edge that separates desire from politeness. In some cases, he'll try to mask his compliments with humor, like joking about how you must get hit on all the time, or teasing you about how distracting you are. But the humor is just a veil. It's still about drawing attention to your desirability, only now with a playful spin that gives him cover. Men often use this tactic when they want to express attraction but don't want to come off too strong. So the truth slips out in between the lines, in the way he smiles when he says it, or how his eyes light up, even as he pretends it's not a big deal. Even when he's not directly complimenting you, the sexual undertone comes through in the way he responds to you. He notices your scent and mentions it. He comments on the energy you bring into a room. He points out how other people seem to light up around you. All of these things are wrapped in the same layer of admiration that comes from wanting you, not just emotionally but physically. His words aren't just praise, they're invitations for you to notice how he sees you and to feel, even if just a little, that magnetic pull between two people who are tuned into the same silent frequency. Because when a man wants to sleep with you, his compliments don't just make you feel beautiful, they make you feel seen in a way that's deeply, unmistakably sensual. So when a man wants to sleep with you, he may never say it directly, but his body, his eyes, his nervous habits, and even his compliments will speak the truth louder than any words could. He'll look at you differently, not just with admiration, but with intensity. He'll mirror your movements because his body is trying to align with yours. His pupils will dilate, his blink rate will drop, and his focus will zero in like nothing else in the room matters. He'll lean in, close the space, find reasons to touch, and act like being near you is more important than anything else in that moment. When you go quiet, he'll get restless, not because he's uncomfortable with silence, but because he's afraid of losing the connection he's trying to build. And the way he compliments you, it'll hit different. It won't just flatter you. It'll reveal desire, wrapped in subtle words that touch on the physical, the emotional, and everything in between. These signs don't scream, they whisper. But if you learn to listen, to watch, to trust what your intuition is already picking up on, you'll start to see the truth behind the way he behaves. Because real desire can't be hidden for long. It always finds a way to show itself.